Honda's reportedly considering investing upwards of $18 billion in an electric vehicle plant in Canada. Nikkei Asia says that the automaker is looking at building a vehicle and battery factory as part of efforts to catch up in the EV market. It says that Honda is reviewing several sites, including one next to its existing plant in Alliston. A potential investment decision is expected by the end of the year. This is according to the Fuel Report. Well, a statement from Economic Development Minister Vic Fedeli reads, quote, by reducing the cost of doing business by $8 billion annually, Ontario has seen unprecedented levels of investment into the province, including over $27 billion in auto and EVs in the past 3 years. These robust investments speak to our strengths as we continue to grow our end-to-end EV supply chain. While the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade does not discuss economic prospects publicly, our government continues to seek out opportunities worldwide to promote job growth and ensure Ontario remains a competitive jurisdiction. And for more on this, we're joined by Flavio Volpe, president of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Flavio, good afternoon. Let's start off with this. What would this mean for Canada's auto sector and job creation right here in Ontario?
Well, thanks for having me on. And, Honda's already here. Honda's been here for 38 years making cars, and it's the largest single employment site in the country in Alliston, Ontario, just north of the GTA. The idea that Honda, one of the world's greatest car companies, would turn around and say, look, this plant, which is our global lead for Civic, will be a place where we're going to make electric vehicles and maybe our electric battery. Okay. Something that we should reach out for with both hands,
Okay, along those lines, this bold goal of having all cars by 2035 be electric, new cars here in Canada, could there be any coincidence that we will see more of these investments, these type of investments right here?
Look, I think on your show with you, I talked about that. I don't think we'll get to that 100%. But if we get to 40 or 50%, that's 10 times where we are right now. More importantly, we make cars here to sell to Americans. 85% of what we make here goes there. So what's the American market look like? I think Honda is saying the American market's going to be really hot for electric vehicles, and there's a lot of investment there. You got a $7,500 purchase incentive from the federal government to buy cars there. And they're thinking, and like all these other car companies that have said Ontario or Quebec, if the American market is hot for EVs, the best place to serve the American market is from here.
Okay, and speaking of a hot market, where do you see this growth going? Like, how much room for expansion is there really?
Well, we're seeing every car company in the world say we're going to stop investing in internal combustion engines and transmissions, no progression of that technology. And we're going to put all of our technology spend into EVs or fuel cell vehicles. What's critical is they've got to get that cost down. And so when we're talking about a Honda who sells the best-selling car in Canada, the Civic is a $20,000 car. It's not a Tesla Model 3 that's 3 times as much. And so the ceiling really is, can a company like Honda on a vehicle like Civic bring that cost down so that all of us can buy it? And if they do, then there's going to be a lot bigger adoption.
Okay, so will this plant actually go next to the existing one in Alliston? And where would you actually want to see it built?
Well, I think it's important to note that the story is about, that Canada's being considered. We're probably on a short list. I would absolutely love to see it in Alliston because about 20,000 people work for the companies I represent that sell parts into that plant. I think that Honda is considering Alliston for a few reasons, including that we're very close to all the critical minerals they need for the batteries, and that they use that plant to sell cars to Europe and the U.S. We've got this Canada-EU trade agreement and the new NAFTA, and so I think it's the best place to do it. And with the Japanese, a lot of this comes down to trust. They've got a short list. Do they trust their Canadian partners, federal, provincial, and industry, more than they would trust their American counterparts? I think that's where the milk gets in the coconut.
All right, Flavio Volpe, president of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bakari.